Jimmy Bum.
Hi.
I'm saying that right, correct? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your day. How are you doing?
It's fine. You know, just looking forward to my basketball game. It's
Absolutely.
going pretty good.
Well, there you go. I heard you're pretty into basketball.
Yeah, I like basketball.
There you go. I'd love to talk about that with you later as we continue our video.
Yeah.
But I did want to give you just a little bit of an idea, of what we're doing here, what's going on, so then you kind of have that basic idea before we move into the deep stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say who I am. Like we haven't officially met, so this is that time. So I'm actually a part of this organization, and it's called Helping You. Yes, because we care about you. You matter.
Thanks.
So I've been here for, let's say, about a year, and I've actually had the pleasure of meeting your mom and your sister, and we've had some pretty awesome conversations, and we've gotten to some pretty deep things, so I'm excited to get to some pretty deep things with you as well. But I do want to also tell you about the duration of what this will be. So we're going to be here for, I'd say, 3 to 4 months, and we plan on meeting once a week on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock, like we discussed, and then we'll see like how time goes on, if we need to make it every other week, or if we need to go a little bit more or a little bit less. It just depends on us and the conversations that we have, and the improvement and the growth as it goes on. So with that, I also wanted to tell you about like the expectations. I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going to happen. Before, I wanted to tell you that we have some things in our organization, and just in general, confidentiality. Everything that we say here is between you and me. If it is something that I do need to report, I will do that, just because I'm obligated to. But everything else, if it doesn't go that far, that will be between me and you, because that matters. That just like that basic relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that, there's also expectations because I do desire for you to grow, and I know that you do for you as well. So these weekly meetings mean a lot, and being expected to be here at 2 o'clock every single week also means a lot, and it's for you and your growth. So as much as you put into it, that's how much you're gonna get out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there's all all those really big stuff. I've sent that to your mom, and she's already looked at it, and she already knows a lot of it because we've been conversating a lot. So if you do have any questions and you want to go to your mom as well about it, or if you want to come to me about it, just if you want to talk about it now, we can.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, and I know that things pop up every once in a while, so don't be afraid to reach out. I have hours that I go through my email and make sure that I check with my people. Okay?
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's see. So we've got a lot of that out of the way. And again, questions anytime, okay?
Thanks.
So let's get a little deeper, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Tell me about you. Tell me about all the things going on in your brain.
Well, I think that what's going on in my brain today compared to a month ago is definitely a lot different.
Yeah.
Me and my mom had a big rough patch there. She just was acting like she was younger than me, and just not letting me be a kid. And I just want to be a kid.
Yeah.
But I just, I like basketball, and my aunt tries to help me with that a lot, my Aunt Alice, and so that's pretty cool. But, just, trying to get, a better relationship with my mom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Can you tell me a little bit more about how are you were feeling before your mom started quitting alcohol to your relationship with her now?
Well, before she stopped drinking, she was just kind of all over the place. Like one day she'd be this happy person and just like involved in me and my basketball, and then the next day it'd be like a flip, like a switch was flipped, you know, and she just, you know, she'd be drinking and you could smell it on her breath.
Yeah.
And then she just, you know, was just mean to me. And I didn't do anything for her to be mean to me. And so I was like, why are you being mean to me, Mom?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, changed now? Or is that a little bit of the same? Tell me about that.
So it was definitely, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it just got better overnight, but like, I think I definitely have noticed that she's gotten a lot better. And at first, I kind of just still resented her a bit and was like, you know what, meh, you should have been a better mom from the get-go. But, I think that I've seen her trying, and it's not a guessing game of if she's going to act like a good mom one day and then a mean mom the next. So,
yeah,
that's gotten better.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to hear that it's gotten better. That's a blessing. And it's hard to hear about the things that have happened in your past and some of the things that continue to happen now. That trust that you want with your mom, that really isn't going to happen overnight. And I'm glad that you can see that. That's a powerful thing, that you can acknowledge that with your age and where you are in your relationship with mom.
Yeah.
So I will say, with what you've dealt with, that's not an easy thing at all. And I can't begin to imagine the stress that has caused on you. To be in a situation where your mom is an alcoholic, you're in survival mode all the time. That's not easy. And you have to, in a way, mature earlier, because in some ways you do have to act like the older person.
Yeah.
That's not easy at all.
No.
And it can be hard to share these things because there's this idea in the dynamic of the family that we don't talk about this, but we need to get away from that because that's not good stuff. It is good to talk about this stuff, and I'm so grateful that you're here and that we're getting into this deep before it affects us later on in life. Right? Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit more. So you've told me about your mama, which is so good, and I'm so grateful for that. That's good stuff. I'm grateful for your relationship that's becoming redeemed slowly but surely, and that trust that's slowly but surely coming back as well. Tell me more about you personally. Tell me about school and sports and all the things and how that comes together.
Well, before she stopped drinking, I feel like I was happy to be anywhere else but home. So I kind of, just got really interested in basketball and just started wanting to, get really good at it. And same with school, just being there and being away from home, because it was never a guessing game at school. It was the same type of people every day. But I also was a bit angry sometimes. I'd come to school and I'd just be angry, or go to basketball and I'd just be angry and get mad at my teammates and my friends and stuff. But, I think I don't know, it kind of just depended on the day for me too. If she was nice to me, then, it was a better day at school and like better day at practice and stuff. But if she was mean to me, I feel like I was just mean to others.
That's hard. So a lot of our feelings were dependent on mom and the situations that were happening at home.
Definitely.
And thanks for sharing that. When mom was angry, you were angry. When mom was sad, you were sad.
I'm sad.
That it does come together in a way.
Yeah.
But tell me, is that still happening, or has that changed?
I think it's definitely changed, but even during this process, I still found myself, even if she was happy with me, I found myself being mean to others just
Yeah.
because I was like, well, how long is this going to last for?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Absolutely. That's hard. You know, the cool thing about just being human, we get to be ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
It's important to have relationships with mom, with people around us. But it's also just important to be you. You know, if mom's mad, how can we see that and see how it affected you, but then act differently so then it doesn't have that same effect on other people, because you know it hurts, right?
Yeah.
So maybe see how mom's reacting, what's going on, how can you be different from that?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me give you a scenario. Mom's at home, she's getting back into alcohol. She's a little bit angry at you for getting going. You're taking too long to get ready for school. You go to school, how do you react?
I'm probably mad.
Yes, absolutely. And it's okay to be mad.
Yeah.
Yes. And how are you going to choose to show that? How are you going to choose to take that anger inside of you and turn it around?
I'd say just, instead of trying to be mean to other people just because I'm mad and my mom was mad at me, I could just, pound the ball extra hard at basketball practice, or just, maybe do some push-ups after practice and just, work really hard at practice.
Yeah, there you go. I love that you are taking this and kind of bringing your aggression out on other things instead of on people.
Yeah.
But it's good that we're talking about this too, because we don't want to suppress these feelings. We don't want to just cover things up with a smile. That's not good.
Definitely not.
Right. But it's also okay to just be like, hey, I'm going to work extra hard at basketball because I'm kind of feeling it today.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to help someone because it makes me feel good and it makes them feel good as well.
Right.
So we're not always going to be perfect all the time. We're human, and that's the reality.
We are.
But we also get to choose how we respond to certain situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel, when my mom's mad at me and then I'm mean to someone, after I'm mean to them, it makes me feel really bad because, I know what it feels like to be, picked on by my mom.
Right.
And so I don't want that for these kids.
Right. Give me some. You go, Jimmy Bob.
Thanks.
There you go. And guess what? You also get to show your mom, hey, this is how it should be. Hey,
Yeah.
You're feeling angry, and I see you, and I hear you.
Yeah.
And let's turn this around.
Yeah.
She's gonna be proud of you.
Thanks.
Which is awesome.
I
That's
hope so.
Cool. Yeah. And I'm proud of you too.
Thanks.
Taking things and turning it around and seeing how you can respond differently.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
So there's been a lot of strain in your family with all the things that have happened.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, I know that there's some things that have happened like emotionally and mentally. How have they affected you physically? How's your physical state right now?
I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, during when she was really into drinking, I'd say I was pushing myself to past my limits in basketball, just to just take out my frustrations. But I don't think I was eating as healthy at that time. But the more that she's gotten off the drink, I think that she started cooking more and good meals that are good for both of us. And because I'm a growing kid, and so I think it's that part's gotten better. I've started eating healthier, and I'm knowing my limits in basketball. So
There you go, Jimmy Bob. That's
Thanks.
amazing. Yeah, that's a powerful thing, for that to turn around. Our bodies are temples. It's important that we take care of that and give what we need to it.
Right.
So let's go into another situation. So I know, and I know all of this is, I guess, based off alcohol. Is there anything else that comes into play of, like anxiety or depression, or because alcohol is a part of it,
Right.
but is there anything else that you can see has affected you at all?
I want to say probably just, anger runs in my family. So
Mhm.
I think, I'm on a short fuse sometimes. And
Mhm.
like, it's definitely gotten better. But like, when my mom was drinking a lot more,
Mhm.
I definitely was more angry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear ya. How has that affected your social life?
I kind of used to take it out on my friends, not as much anymore, but like I'd have to apologize to them and say, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
And they understood, but like I couldn't necessarily tell them, hey, my mom's an alcoholic,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm sorry, I'm mad at times too.
Right.
I just had to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just, I'm upset today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I feel like I've had more problems with my friends during my mom's drinking,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd say it's gotten a bit better, but
Yeah.
not the greatest.
There you go. I hear you. Are the friends that you're with now the same ones that you've had when your mom was into alcohol?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And those
maybe
same.
a few new friends.
Okay.
but
There you go. That's awesome. And same friends, with all the anger that's happening from you.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. And you know how you acted in those situations, but like you see how they've stayed.
yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
that's pretty awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And maybe if you talk to them about that, hey, you're like, hey guys, I was going through a rough patch, but I'm really grateful that you stayed with me through that time. I know it was probably hard, but I appreciate you guys. Would that be something that you'd be down for?
Yeah, they probably really like to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that you like to do with your friends?
I like to play basketball.
Yes.
Okay, I like to fish with my friends.
Mhm.
They're not as good as me, just because in my family there's a lot of fishing.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
I still like to go fishing with them. But
Absolutely.
yeah, fishing. We like to watch movies.
Mm-hmm. All the fun things.
Yeah.
So, what's one word that you would use to describe your social life right now?
I'd say maybe growing,
Yeah.
because it's getting better by the day, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not the greatest yet. But it's better than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
There you go.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
thanks.
To be able to acknowledge that we're all growing.
Yeah.
All the time in all of our relationships. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. That's amazing. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me about your spiritual life?
I love Jesus, plain and simple.
Amen.
I love Jesus. I feel like my mom's starting to, get more into her Bible now that she's not drinking, which, is making me get into my Bible more too. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
Thanks.
And I know that this isn't like the underlining fact, but like, how would you say how often you go to church?
Maybe every other Sunday.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which is more than we used to.
Absolutely.
It used to be just kind of just like once a month.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Once or twice.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, church isn't what determines your religion. It's actually, your relationship with God.
I agree.
Digging deep, getting there. So,
Yeah.
in that community in church is also super important for us. Absolutely. And I'd love to talk with you more about this as we go on, which this has already been so good.
Thanks.
We're hitting deep. This is amazing.
This has been pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some surface level things, but as we talk about things as the time goes on, we'll hit deeper and deeper, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But the more you put into this, the more you can get out of this.
That's what my mom said too.
There you go. And you see how much change has already happened in her.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go. Something to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy Bob. Well, it was so nice to meet you. You have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful rest of your day.
Nice to meet you too.